This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Wherever. Left the house at 7:15, 12-minute drive. Just got here because of traffic and an accident. And we got a few cop cars in this state, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's some days it seems like you can never find one, and then there's other days where you're like, how is this in our budget to have 10,000 cop cars roll up to whatever scene is going on?
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, just looking at the news here. I was watching some stuff last night, and so what is this now? So now Tim Walz is America's sweetheart. Is that, where did he get that nickname now?
That's kind of
himself.
Yeah, he probably gave it to himself. Exactly.
I think that's kind of they've labeled him like the coach. He's Coach Walz and stuff like that. So that's kind of the angle that they've been rocking with him here since like the DNC, I want to say.
So the fact that he lies on a constant daily basis doesn't matter to them?
Well, I would say that's all politicians know too.
Well, not at this level. Not like I was carrying a rifle through Vietnam. It's like, no, you weren't.
Yeah.
Look, I got nothing against him. I don't like Tim Walz. He's been a pain in the ass to me personally, actually, to tell you the truth. But this America's sweetheart, what?
I would like to get his feelings on the nickname, because if I was running for vice president and people started calling me America's sweetheart, I'd be like, all right, I appreciate the sentiment, but like, let's come up with something better.
Yeah.
Like America's, I don't know, like badass or something like that. Like sweetheart seems a little strong.
Do you think part of it is the fact that doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat, whatever it is, politicians are just not like us. They're just, I don't know what that is. What is it about them that is so odd? They're just all very odd people.
Yeah, there almost has to be some sort of like disconnect where I think you naturally have to feel like you're just better than everybody else or different, because you have to you're the leader and have to make decisions that are tough that maybe not everybody's going to agree with. You can't sympathize or empathize with everybody if you're in that position.
I understand completely. Do you think it's going to get worse or better?
I think it's going to get better.
Do you?
Yeah.
How does it get better?
I don't know how it gets better, but I can't imagine the last 4 to 8 years of time here being any worse.
I would have to agree with that.
So it just by default, it has to get better.
I would have
we had cities on fire, COVID, everything was going down the toilet, and now I feel like it just naturally, the pendulum has to swing back to the other side.
Yeah, I've been around a lot of Well, yesterday I had lunch with former Governor Tim Pawlenty and former United States Senator Norm Coleman. I had lunch with them yesterday, but they're not in politics anymore, but I've known them for years and years. And there are some Democrats I do the same thing with. All the rest of it, but I just don't understand why it is that this whole scam has to go on. Can we just find somebody to elect president that doesn't have 8,000 scams going?
Yeah. When you talk with them, what's the sense you get from them on how they feel about the state of the political field?
Well, I think the whole thing is interpretation of all these different things. Well, you and I have talked about this before off the air and all the rest of it. Do people not understand that when someone of a certain color has been treated like crap for a long time, the answer is to everybody comes together, everybody assimilates to one another. It doesn't mean you have to change your life, but just kind of move toward them a little bit. And everybody rises up together. But we always, as human beings, and right now it's white men that are the most evil people on earth. And when's the last time you saw a honky guy in a commercial? They just aren't any. And that's not the way it's supposed to go. You're not supposed to eliminate one group to make room for another group. Everybody rises together is how it's supposed to go. Why can't it ever happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's in any community. I mean, if you get into a relationship with your significant other, you're going to start picking up some of their mannerisms.
Yeah,
start picking up some of yours.
True.
So it's like, yeah, anytime you're in a group, you're going to all naturally take bits and pieces of each other and kind of come together to form a new normal.
But there can't be any bad guys based on skin color.
Oh no.
But there still are.
Yeah, it's just the lowest hanging fruit. It's the easiest way.
That's a good way to put it.
It's the easiest way to identify somebody without actually having to take the time to get to know them. You can just go, all of those people over there that look like that person suck.
Well, and I understand your point that you assimilate to people around you. Look, I'm nowhere near like now. I'm a lot meaner than I used to be just since I met Catherine because I assimilated to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I've started calling people candy asses ever since I started hanging out with you.
They're candy ass. There's no question about it.
Sugar tit all the way.
Sugar tit all the way. I guess a lot of people are very, very upset about the fact that Kamala Harris had a beer last night with Stephen Colbert. They opened up a Miller on the show and drank it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really have an opinion on that, but is that a good idea to be doing when 300 people are dead and at least 300 people are dead in North Carolina and they're getting very little help?
I mean, I don't mind it. Now, I'm not in North Carolina or Florida going through a disaster where maybe the optics don't look great, but I also can appreciate that like Kamala Harris is drinking a $3 Miller Lite. Like she's trying to relate to the people. So
it wasn't her idea. It was Colbert's idea.
Yeah, but she still was like, let's crack one open and maybe shotgun one on national TV.
If we ever need his help, we're screwed. You do understand that, AJ, right? I mean, he's going to be drinking beer. You and I are failing miserably.
If she gets up to like the presidential address or something and is like, "Oh, we have 3 Miller," like she's hungover. Okay, let's tone it down a little bit, but.
Yeah, not a bad. Yeah, toning it down. That's a good idea. Yeah, like I said, your person sucks and oh my God, it's not one of those kind of deals.
Mm-hmm.
I think anybody seeking that much power has got a couple of things wrong with them anyway.
Yeah.
I just kind of do. If you need to be that powerful, but we need leaders, I guess. That's the other argument. We got to have leaders. But I just, and the other thing I'll close on this one because I know we got to get going, but is there a poll that's accurate? Because every day I hear, oh, this one, she's killing it. The next day, oh my God, she's just disappeared. This guy's killing it. And what is real and what isn't? Because is it all just scammy?
Yeah, it's all because I feel like even if like Donald Trump, like the poll was accurate, and let's say Donald Trump was, oh, yep, everybody's voting for him, he would probably undersell it to make sure that people that maybe are on the fence about voting
be a good idea.
Don't go out to the polls, right? Like, he wouldn't want to be overconfident. So I feel like it would make more sense to be like, yeah, I need everybody's help because I'm down in the polls. So we all got to make sure we go vote.
I think it's just so weird to like pay attention to those polls too. Like, because they're not, there's no way that's a accurate representation of people that are actually going to vote.
Nope.
Like I got a text yesterday and it says, hey, I'm here with Polling America or whatever.
Stop.
Yeah,
I can't text fast enough.
Immediately stop because I'm not going to respond to that. And that's the same thing with, I bet you, Tevin, like our age group, 95% of them. That's a huge voter base that you just are not going to get like the polling numbers for. So anything that comes out, I take with a grain of salt because the day of the election, what is it now, 26 or so days away? That the numbers are going to be vastly different. I think it's going to probably still be awfully close, but like when it's 4 points lead here, but it's like, no, it's not. It's definitely not.
But I mean, looking at it all as we segue into it, I was thinking about this. There's no place I'd rather live in the world than the United States of America. I've liked a lot of places I've gone. I like, England and Ireland and Scotland. And I mean, Puerto Rico was wonderful. Went down there, Dominican Republic. I mean, we've been to a million different places and I enjoyed them all. But when push comes to shove, I'd rather live in America than anywhere else. Is there anywhere else on earth better to live than America?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, can you think of anywhere? I mean, like Costa Rica is nice, but
I guess in terms of what? Just like overall
life in general is better, I think, in America than anywhere else in the world.
I feel like there's got to be a couple European countries that just like have it nicer.
Like where?
Like Finland or something like that.
Finland? What are you, Scandinavian?
No, I'm just like.
Are you Scandinavian? Don't lie to me.
I think I'm a little Polish.
That's not Scandinavian.
What about 23andMe say?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Yeah, exactly. Is that stuff accurate, by the way? I don't see it.
I hope so.
You know how weird it is to just willingly give a random company
Your
right.
DNA? Also, their entire board of directors last week quit.
They did?
Yeah.
23andMe?
Yeah, because
Really?
I think they're getting bought out, and now just another different company that people paid to send their own DNA to, bought them. It's weird. I would never have done that.
That is odd.
I would never do that.
Ooh.
You can delete your data from 23andMe allegedly.
Well, okay, so get on it, people.
Yeah.
The reason I asked you that is, and I know we got to get moving here, but I never talked to anybody about their other stuff. But I've done mine. Catherine has done hers. Andy has done his. I don't know if Alex has ever done hers, but Andy's shows that he's almost 100% German.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not true.
Well, wouldn't that mean that you're also 100% German?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, which is not true of Catherine or me. Because my mother was German, yes.
Yeah.
And I think her father was German. But then her mother was, what's the gypsy deal again? All the gypsies, where'd they come from again?
I feel
Her mom was a gypsy.
That's all over. No?
No, there's a certain, I don't know, whatever the hell
Okay.
it is. It's, I can speak the language, but I can't remember what the hell country it's from.
Okay.
And then my father was pretty much, Barnard is a Scottish name and a lot of German and English in there, but it really, sometimes it shows up and sometimes it doesn't. And I understand if it's so accurate, how does that happen?
There's a flaw in the system.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm sure that there's been many a family torn apart by 23andMe after they find out that
well,
maybe some of us aren't as related as we thought.
Well,
we were. Well, that was the guy that the Netflix documentary was on, where he was giving all the sperm donations were his,
like 65 of them.
Yeah,
right.
Yep,
it was a doctor.
Yeah, it was I think he almost got up to 100 or something.
Jesus. All right, we got to take a break before we vomit. What do you think? But yeah, everybody calm down. Everything will be good. And the world is not hideous, and relax. And like I said, if you can name a better place to live in the world than America, let me know. And maybe there's a Costa Rica. Maybe there's a town in Scotland or where the hell ever it is. I don't know. Like I said, I've been in a number of places, and I really got to tell you, there's not one that I'd say I'd never go there again. I don't think. I'd have to think about it. We'll take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. South Dakota is one of the most business-friendly states in the country, and there's no better place to settle down, take advantage of those incentives than in Sioux Falls. As the state's largest city with a metro population over 290,000, Sioux Falls has low business costs with high quality of life. There's no state, corporate, or personal income tax, no inheritance tax, no limits to what your business can achieve. Sioux Falls, South Dakota was recently ranked the #1 best small city for business and careers by Forbes, the #2 best state business tax climate by the Tax Foundation, and the #5 top state for e-commerce by Nexus. It's one of the Midwest's fastest growing cities. Sioux Falls has a robust growing job market. No matter where you're at in your career, we have an opportunity waiting for you. Our city's tax-friendly climate and strong workforce do not go unrecognized. Forbes named Sioux Falls one of the top small cities for business and careers each of the last 15 years. In 2020, Sioux Falls also ranked as the #4 best city for young professionals. How does South Dakota stack up against other states? Well, we rank second in the nation for the lowest cost of doing business, the most business-friendly state, and the best business tax climate. And as South Dakota's biggest city, Sioux Falls is at the center of these benefits. Now is the perfect time to make your move to Sioux Falls. Visit SiouxFallsDevelopment.com.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Mike Lindell and MyPillow employees want to thank their listeners of this show for all your continued support. When Mike started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, they now have hundreds of products, some you may not even know about. For example, the brand new 4-pack dish towels, just $25. 6-pack towel sets, just $25. And bed sheets, of course, for as low as $25. Check out their overstock and closeout sale and save up to 80% off select items. Looking for a good night's sleep? Take advantage of the classic collection on a variety of MyPillows for as low as $9.88. These amazing offers won't last long, so order now. Just go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146 and use promo code TOM.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You are indeed, ladies and gentlemen, listening to the podcast. And we're just, at this point, going to talk a little sports action. Obviously, not a lot of Twins to talk about, but yeah.
Did you hear the good news?
What's the good news?
Well, I guess the good news is if you still care about the Twins, they officially announced yesterday that they're going to have a direct-to-consumer streaming option. Their games are going to be produced by MLB, and they are no longer going to be affiliated with Diamond Sports / Bally Sports North. So
Good.
If you want to pay to watch them, you actually can now, as opposed to the people who wanted to pay to watch them who still couldn't watch them because there was no direct-to-consumer / streaming option until now.
Oh, I thought DirecTV did that. They didn't do that?
They carried Bally Sports North, but there was no direct, like the Twins. If you don't want to have, if you've cut the cord and you don't have DirecTV and you don't have Comcast or Charter cable, and you wanted to stream the games, you could not.
I thought it was like $100 a month or something to do it.
No, I had Bally's through Comcast, and I could stream the games because of that. But that was through the Comcast folks. The Twins and Bally's never had an option to stream. It was always carriage.
So we're gonna get some players and watch the games. Can we do both?
That's a good question. I don't know they're going to get players. They've said their payroll won't be cut, but they also said that this is going to, for the short term, take another hit from their, like, there's no rights fee here. There's subscription fees, but it's going to be split between the Twins and baseball. But look, baby steps here, Tom. Baby steps.
I have a question for you. Is there any corporation in America where the second or third generation took over and didn't F everything up? Oh, you guys are thinking hard about that.
Wait. Our bosses, the Hubbards.
That doesn't even count. It's Ginny. That doesn't even count.
Okay, I'm covering my tracks here, Tom. Yeah. I'm being very careful to cover my tracks.
No, that's more of a family than a corporation, though, don't you think? I mean, that's the way I've always.
Well, but I think of it the same way lots of times. Like lots of times, family. I mean, what are the Pohlads? They're a corporation, but they're, it's their immediate family that runs the most important assets. Yeah. And I mean, you're not wrong about that. That has not gone well.
Okay, this is a better way to put it. Has there ever been, other than about 5% of them, a corporation taken over by a second generation who did the right thing instead of I'm doing it my way?
Ooh, I don't know the answer, but I know exactly what you're saying, and my guess is we've seen a lot of the latter more than the former. But I mean, if you're handed a company like Joe Pohlad, okay, so he's Bob Pohlad's son,
right?
Carl's grandson. He's 40-something. But unless it's someone in the family who has sat him down and said, "You're doing this all wrong."
I did at a Twins game with Bob Pohlad, but they must not have paid attention.
Well, and then Bob wouldn't talk to you anymore, right?
That was the end of Bob talking to me. That's exactly right. Well, I actually liked Bob Pohlad. I thought he was a nice guy, but we just, I'm sorry, but if your team does the things your team does, I'm going to criticize the piss out of it because it's not the right thing to do. People are paying a fortune to get into those games, and they need a good product.
Well, perhaps tuning you out was not in Bob's best interest ultimately.
Yeah. See,
what if Bob had called you and said, "Tom, your criticism hurt me deeply, but I have thought about it all, and you were right. We're going to make changes here." Like, I mean, are we talking 4 world championships instead of 2?
Let me look at my phone right now because he might be calling me at this very moment.
Well, tell him to talk to his kid.
Yeah, he's got to talk to his son. There's no question about that. But yeah, seriously, I sat and watched a game. I believe it was with Joe. I don't remember. I know it was, Bob, because we were sitting there talking about this. And it was one of his kids. I assume it was probably Joe. And we were sitting out in right field, as a matter of fact, watching a Twins game. Had a really nice run. But after that, when I criticized the team again, that was the end of that friendship.
Sometimes friendships have to pay the price for honesty, don't they?
Well, and the other thing you have to remember is in my neighborhood, Kid Can ran that neighborhood. Kid Can was a gangster.
Yeah.
Who did I always see around Kid Can? Hubert Humphrey and Carl Pohlad. So there you go.
Oh, interesting. Well, and Sid factored in, right?
Oh, Sid was definitely part of that whole mix. There's no question about it.
Now, Sid was a kid at one point in time too, right? Because Kid Can was doing his thing, and they took a liking to Sid because Sid worked so hard, right? That's the story.
That's pretty much, or at least he convinced people he worked so hard. Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I didn't doubt about Sid was he did work hard, but selling papers on the street corners in the 40s? No, 30s probably.
30s, probably 30s. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But yeah, I hear you, and unfortunately, Bob in the Pohlad family decided to tune you out, and as a result, here we are, Tom. Here we are.
Got to remember the open bar La Grassa back in the day, and Bob Pohlad showed up. I don't think he knew I was coming because I was one of the owners at the time and all that.
Yeah.
He did not have a pleasant look on his face when he saw me walk into the building. I will tell you that.
Oh, really? Still. See, that's so weird.
It is. Yeah.
How can you own a sports team and not have the media criticizing you unless it's deeply personal, like about your family or so, like about specific people? Yeah. How can you own a sports team and not have it roll off your back?
Well, the other thing, my take on that is I've had people walk up and go, God, I can be honest with you. I just cannot listen to your show. I just don't like your show at all. And my response is always, who gives a shit? Go listen to somebody else. Good. You don't like it? Fine. I understand. It's not for everybody.
Well, that's the thing about it. That's what I don't get is it's like, do you really expect everyone's going to like what you do? And if they do, you must be the most milquetoast, boring human being in the history of the world.
Well, I mean, look, could I ever come into work and look at Tevin and AJ and go, yeah, everybody's going to like this show with those two on there?
No.
That's a disaster.
Although age does bring the beard and the hair, like that's a selling point. I gotta admit.
Yep, we got Fabio over in Studio A.
Yeah,
and I think we're the number one rated show in America for mountain dwellers after they look at AJ.
Minus all of the like physical physique and
the physical physique.
Huge ratings in West Virginia.
Yes, we do.
The cameras. It's a perfect position, Age.
It is.
The camera's in perfect position. It's shooting you from we don't know. You could be jacked.
Spoiler alert. I'm not.
I tell everybody he is.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It all works out in the end. That's all I know. So yeah, we got to get our Twins to make a couple of moves. The Vikings are 5-0 now.
Yes, sir.
I mean, how about the Timberwolves? They're going to look good this year.
Yeah, Timberwolves are. They're in training camp right now. They open the season in a few weeks. So and the Wild opens their season on Thursday night.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, tomorrow night, right?
Tomorrow night at the X. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
So full swing.
Yeah,
and the baseball playoffs are fantastic. And Kevin's exactly right. The Lynx.
And the Lynx about to hang another banner. We are in the finals. They are the first Minnesota team. It's going to be Lynx, followed by the Vikings and Wolves. We might three-peat. I don't know if it's ever been done before.
Be a 4. Don't forget about PWHL.
And PWHL.
Freeze?
I'm not 100% sure, but
it's
Lynx.
It's Frost.
That's the PWL what?
It's a hockey league, women's hockey league.
Professional women's hockey.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
We're champions right now, Tom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Lynx are Nafisha Collier and the crew are taking on the Liberty. I believe it starts, what is it? First game is Thursday? Friday? Anybody
There
know?
you go.
I don't know.
Thursday.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but
we're gonna
it's gonna be a
win.
good matchup because Ionescu's good. Brianna Stewart's she had a great game yesterday against the Aces. So
Listen to you guys across the board covering all the sports, ladies and gentlemen.
that's why we're here.
Spanning the globe.
Spanning
That
the
and
globe.
knock off Fabio's
And
You got
do
all the
what?
show.
and being knock off Fabio. Just
Well, I thought you were going
that's
to
what I-
knock off Fabio. I'm like,
I might
what?
have to. Might have to. Then I get the
There
full
can-
time gig.
There can only be one.
Full time. I didn't know. I didn't know there were jobs. I didn't know there were
It's
Fabio jobs available.
It's a position because as soon as he's gone, somebody else rises. It's like a new pope, Judd. They
Yes.
have the white smoke and
Same deal.
Yeah.
God, my mother was involved in that bit. Every time there was a smoke deal with the Pope, boy, my mother was glued to that TV set. No question about it. Big time Roman Catholic.
Oh yeah, yep. The Pope and JFK. Those were the two pictures.
Oh God, yeah. Except, of course, in my house, it was a real thrill because my mother was a big time Roman Catholic and my father was a Baptist. It's like, oh my God, could you guys be any further apart?
Wow, that's a whole nother. That's a segment right there.
Oh yeah, he was a barn burner, no question.
Ooh, Baptist.
Like I
and
said,
Roman
once again,
Catholic.
you learn these lessons because my father and I did not get along. He was institutionalized. He was schizophrenic, all these things. It was not great. But as soon as you watch the Menendez brothers and what they went through, I was living in heaven comparatively. So,
Yeah,
I mean, that's just how it goes, baby.
it's true. It is absolutely true.
All right. Any closing wisdom we should get from you?
I don't think so. No, I'll
None?
just talk to you guys. No, I've it's a Wednesday. It's fall. It's great, but I don't know that I have wisdom to pass.
You're not a
on.
wisdom kind of guy.
Well, on certain days I am moved. I'm moved
Okay,
by things. But
good.
today, today's just middle of the week. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, true.
I woke
Very,
up
very true.
happy about that. It's just
That
life.
you woke up. We're
Yeah.
happy. Pretty happy too that you woke up.
I'm glad I woke up. It's just life. Just life.
Did you ever not wake up
Well, it depends how much I had to drink the night before.
back in college?
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, if you really want to go down that path, there have been some times.
No,
I mean, I wasn't dead, but I might have been pretty close.
I can close with this. 15 years old. I was over hanging out with my buddies, Andy Fisher and the Laurent brothers and the whole gang, Tommy O'Brien. And I got hammered at 15 years old. They bring me to my house, propped me up again, leaned me against the front door and pushed the doorbell and ran away. My mother comes out. You remember the old houses that had a glass door in the front and then there was an entry and then another glass door behind that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's how this was. I see my mother looking at me and I'm like, even though I'm hammered, I know I got major problems. One door opens. I'm like, what's this all about? Why is she opening the door? Second door opens, punched me right in the mouth.
Wow. Compounding your problems.
Yes, compounding the problems. Like you come home drunk at 15 years old, you're getting punched right in the mouth. That's just how it
Okay.
is.
Well,
Okay, Toots.
thanks to your friends, though, for completely selling you out.
Oh, they did. There's no question about that. And my mother, by the way, did not beat the children. That was the one time she ever hit
Yeah.
me.
Well,
So
it's
there
your
you go.
friend's fault.
No, it's my friend's
Like if
fault.
they just
You're
didn't
absolutely
prop
right.
you up against the door, this wouldn't have taken place.
No question about it. You're 100% correct.
All right,
All right,
guys.
Salome, we will talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds good. Take care.
Looking forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, Judd Zolgad. What do you think of that intro?
Oh, he's a legend.
I feel
He
like
is.
he's got some great college stories.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he does, yes. Oh, you know what? We'll get him out of him.
Yeah.
I promise. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Sometimes the anxiety for wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? My guy, Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk, can sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk. Never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. Set up your free 48-minute no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments must involve risk. You know that. All comments and opinions of Josh Arnold do not constitute investment advice. I am a paid endorser.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain and ship issues, all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
Let us take a second to talk about my bank. That would be, of course, North American Banking Company. If you own a business or thinking about starting one, make sure to check out my friends at North American Banking Company. When your business is looking to capitalize on an opportunity or solve a problem, turn to their experts because they're locally owned and operated. Loan decisions are made here in the Twin Cities, not shipped out of state. This helps business owners expand with confidence. So if you're looking for a better banking experience, why not bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Channel 5's Chris Egert is brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. The newsman is with us, Chris Egert, news anchor. What do you think of that?
What's happening?
Just floating through life, trying to slog through. That's all I'm saying. I watched a little TV this morning, so I saw politicians lying their ass off, and then I came into work.
Sounds about right.
It's about the extent of it, isn't it? I mean, it just is what it is. And
well, I'm gonna say this. You remember Hurricane Katrina?
Yes.
Remember how big of a deal that was?
Yes.
Remember who was president?
Was that
George Bush?
George Bush.
Remember how Kanye West went on TV and said George Bush hates black people?
Yes, I do remember that.
One of the greatest moments in television history.
Remember how caught off guard Mike Myers was?
Oh God, yeah. He was like,
what?
What?
My point is, how many years ago was that?
Tucker. There we go. Chris Tucker.
Sorry, what was that, Chris?
How many years ago was that?
20?
Was that 04 or 06?
Yeah,
I think it was 20, 19 or 20.
Okay.
There you
My
go.
point is, natural disasters and hurricanes and government response is political, whether people like it to be or not.
Yeah, I agree.
And to some extent, I don't know how fair that is. I think we talked about this a little bit yesterday. Whether you have an R behind your name or whether you have a D behind your name, I don't know that has just going on reference, has a big difference in how our government responds to hurricanes. It's obviously not something easy or something that we're getting better at, because I mean, just think about it. So I know there's been a lot of discussion about that. And people being critical of and I'm not defending anybody. I'm merely pointing out historically that when stuff like this happens, people point fingers at the administration who's in power at the time. It happens. So.
Yeah, but I mean, it's been a horrible response, so maybe that's why they're pointing.
Sure, but I'm saying 20 years ago was a horrible response too, and it was a Republican in the presidency.
I agree with you 100%.
I just think people need to have a little perspective sometime. People are pissed off and they don't feel like they're getting listened to. They're going to point the finger up
And, that ultimately goes all the way up to the president of the United States. Right. And rightfully so. I mean, that's a person who, the buck stops here, but
I think it was just an ugly time to be giving Lebanon $150 million. The timing of that was not good. They got to know better than I'm not saying they shouldn't support whomever they support, and that, they know a lot more about that than I do. But right between two hurricanes, you're giving another country $150 million instead of taking care of your people. That makes no sense to me.
Yeah. And I don't have a particularly wonderful feeling about this Milton thing either, although it has jogged south a little bit compared to where the track was yesterday, which takes the eye wall a little bit further south of like Tampa and Orlando, because as it was before, now that doesn't mean it's still not going to be very windy and very rainy and the storm surge and whatnot. But I think that does take some of the potential wind damage down for like these major metropolitan areas. But both of those, I mean, from being to Florida, it's almost populated along that entire I-4 corridor from Tampa all the way to Daytona Beach anyway. I mean, there's houses, and people living everywhere. So I don't know. Hopefully. But I mean, I tell you right now, whatever happens, people aren't going to be happy with the response because.
No, that's true. That is true.
And I know people love to, blame the president, in situations like this, but and we probably don't hear a lot about it just being in Minnesota, but are they pretty tough as well on like governors and mayors in Florida specific leadership, Chris? Like,
I was down there for 2004, Charlie Francis and Gene. And those were like direct hits to Central Florida. Yeah. I mean, people they're pissed off. They want their lights on. They want to be, they want their life to be somewhat normal. And so you're pissed at everybody, right? Like, and rightfully so. But on the other hand, there's just some things you can't really prepare for, and response, there's all kinds of different factors that weigh in on the response. But I mean, I think we talked about it a little bit yesterday. You would think we'd start to evolve a little bit and maybe get a little bit more efficient at certain aspects of recovering from a hurricane, because they happen and they keep happening. And I don't think they're going to stop happening anytime soon.
No, that is true. Let's all just kind of, I think, maybe I do understand the fact that people get a little pissed off because the government has always thrown our money around like it's theirs. And it is not their money. They need to understand this is the people's money. You might want to go to the people and say, here's what we're going to do, instead of just doing it.
Well, and you're right, Tom, when no matter what it is, you like see money being spent on XYZ, and then, you're sleeping in a pile of sticks and your house is turned into a mud bog and everything you own has been swept down the river. Like, of course you're frustrated, and, rightfully so. I mean, I just, like I said, I really wish people cannot handle power and money. They get very arrogant about that. And I'm talking about just people in general, not just Democrats, not just Republicans or whatever, but people and money is one of the weirdest relationships. People will do anything for money. And that's quite scary, actually, to tell you the truth. Yeah.
Maybe you get some talent or get off your ass and work. How about that? That'd be good.
You're not wrong about that. Hey, how about them Lynx though, huh?
Yeah.
Game 5.
Headed to the championship. Won last night.
Yeah, because they had to win Game 5, though, didn't they?
Yep. Yeah, it was 2-2. Game 5. Winner takes
thought.
all, and we came out victorious.
All of a sudden it's his team. Here we go.
It's a community.
I've been a
running
fan.
packs.
Yep.
That's right. They do. You're absolutely right.
It's a herd of Lynx, baby. And we're all on the prowl.
And the Twins are going to be on TV somewhere. Not that does anybody want to watch that, but yeah. So that was another big story yesterday.
Yeah, that's actually going to be nice though, because it sounds like it's going to be pretty similar pricing to like what other teams like the Diamondbacks had this last year as well. And it's like It's like $99 for the year, and that's frankly, if you want to watch just baseball. If I had that option for the Twins for the past however many years, I probably would pay it.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's like $12.99 monthly, which I guess.
Yeah, it saves you a couple bucks to just do it by the year.
Exactly, but it's gonna be a better deal because this will allow people to stream it directly. Like if they're out, if a dad's out at the park with his kids, maybe his kids are on the swing, he wants to keep checking on the game, he can stream it on his phone and that stuff.
Right.
And it's not locked into you have to have a cable box, you have all this stuff. You can really do it anywhere and you don't have to have that cable package, which is great.
Watch the Twins lose from the comfort of your neighborhood park.
Yeah, I would tell that dad to pay attention to his kids because his kids are more important than the Twins are.
Wait a minute. Let me think about it.
I don't know. It was just an example, guys.
Just kidding, AJ. No, it was a good idea.
I don't have kids, so maybe, I can't relate.
Especially if it's that park that 10-year-old was driving the car around in
Oh
circles.
my God, yeah.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
what?
You didn't hear about that? Like there's some
Yeah,
10-year-old running the streets that's had like 30 instances with the police.
Right.
Yeah,
He's 10
and-
years old.
Yeah, and he was
I think
driving
that was-
a car.
Nellie Stone Johnson, maybe was that the name of the school? I'm almost positive that's what it was. Yeah.
Well, I tell you, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about this story, but that John Thompson's kid story is just hideous.
I know. It is.
Like what killed 5 young Somali women. Ugh. Is there an explanation of why he lost control of the car and all that?
I mean, he was going like I don't know how fast he was, like going at ridiculous speed. So I mean, you're going 90 miles an hour. Well, I don't know, whatever it was. It was super fast on a city street.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. It is
Very,
awful.
very sad story. So we'll close on that nice, bright note, shall we?
But I thought I had something.
Oh, good.
Brought something kind of positive tonight. Oh, they arrested 6 kids who were robbing a bunch of people and stealing vehicles in South Minneapolis yesterday.
Good. Hope you
But
go.
they've been arrested. So
Good.
there you go. They're probably out on bond already, but
Yep, that's probably true.
they were arrested.
All right, Pally, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, you guys have a good day.
Thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation. That number is 952-925-5608. We'll be right back and continue. Sheila E's coming up in about 10 minutes, though. Looking forward to it.
Mhm.
Mike Lindell of MyPillow employees want to thank all our listeners for all your continued support. When Mike started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, they now have hundreds of products, some of you may not even know about. For example, the brand new 4-pack dish towel sets, just $25. 6-pack towel sets, just $25. Bed sheets for as low as $25. Check out their overstock and closeout sale and save up to 80% off select items. Looking for a good night's sleep? Take advantage of the classic collection on a variety of MyPillows for as low as $9.88. These amazing offers won't last long, so order now. Just go to MyPillow.com or call 800-516-5146 and use promo code TOM.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. $48 was an option for a Lynx Game 3 playoff ticket.
Oh, for one ticket?
For one ticket. Yep, you can get in for as little as $48. And that's lower level. You're behind the basketball hoop, but you're at least in the building.
I mean, that's pretty solid though, because I guess
$50, yeah.
When you originally asked me during the break, I'm so used to I'm a big upper deck guy. Like I like seeing when I go watch like a hockey game, when I go watch like a Twins game, I don't want to have to like crane my neck around some guy just to see down the line or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see the full field of play. But you're telling me that you also said like $107 for like basically essentially courtside.
Yeah, more or less. Like you're in the corner a little bit, but yeah,
it's pretty good value.
Not bad.
You going?
I might have to now.
For $48, I might have to. Yeah.
Is that's pretty cheap? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, if it was like the Wolves, for example, these seats are probably getting up into the thousands of dollars.
Yeah, that for
you're getting like 600, 700, and then upwards to 1,000
for today's like sports events, inflation and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
$48, or in the other one's case of like 3 rows back of the court, $107. That's almost free. That's almost free.
You should do, if you could look up how much a ticket to a game was when the Minneapolis Lakers used to, I bet you those tickets weren't more than a couple of bucks. You think?
Oh, they were probably like, you got in for like $3 and they came with a hot dog, a beer, a jersey, meet and greet with the players.
Probably true. Minneapolis Lakers, I don't remember them because I was a very, very young kid when they were big into, I suppose I was maybe 8 or 9, but I was paying attention to baseball, not basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you got? Anything?
I don't know.
It kind of, I typed in Minneapolis Lakers ticket price.
Mm-hmm.
It just is like, hey, you want to go to the Timberwolves Lakers game this year? So I gotta.
Oh, it's one of those deals. Yeah. I suppose.
Yeah. Let me figure out. So
that's no big deal. Can't be very much.
1959.
They left in 59.
They left after the 59-60 season.
There you go. That makes sense. Yeah. So I would have been 8 years old. So I wasn't even a Twins fan yet because I became a Twins fan in 9. So I probably just wasn't paying any attention to sports at all back then. 6, 7, 8 years old, something like that. But yeah, the tickets probably couldn't be more than a couple bucks because they played at the Armory, didn't they? The Minneapolis Lakers, I believe, played at the Armory.
I believe that is true.
So there you go.
All right, here's what I've got. There's a guy selling a PSA 2 Minneapolis Lakers season ticket.
Oh, there you go.
Keep that in mind. So this is not a single game, but this is like he graded it. It's his. It says established price $58.33 with tax of $11.67 brings it to an even $70. So $70 for season tickets to the Minneapolis Lakers for the 1950-1951 season at the Minneapolis Auditorium.
A Minneapolis Auditorium it was then. Okay. Because I think they did bounce around with that. I did see them play once because I was taken by the Tyson family to see the Harlem Globetrotters. And it was somehow connected to the Minneapolis Lakers game. It was either like right after the game or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I did see him on the court once. And I remember Wilt Chamberlain was in town one time. And for some reason, he was up in North Minneapolis or whatever. Mm-hmm. I will never forget. He was what, like 7'2" or something?
Yeah, somewhere in there. He was tall. He was tall.
But I remember seeing him as a little boy. I'm like, holy Christ. This guy's like the Fauché Tower. I didn't know who he was either. I found out later how important a figure he was because I had no idea who he was.
I know there's something different about you, but I don't know why.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
You said he was with the Globe. He was here with the Globetrotters. That's just the game you went to.
I think maybe I don't remember exactly why he was in town with the Globetrotters or the Lakers or whatever the hell it was. I don't know what that was all about. But.
Well, baseball's version of the Globetrotters now is coming to CHS Field. The banana boats or something like that.
What?
Oh, the Savannah Bananas.
The Savannah Bananas. Yeah, they just announced.
Tell me, what's this about? I don't know anything about
I
this.
love the Savannah Bananas.
It's the weirdest, like
they're
like
the most
sing,
fun team
it's like,
in baseball.
Yeah, it's like they dance. It's like baseball, but it's Globetrotters is like the
really?
style of it, I guess. And
Ooh,
so,
I
yeah.
would like that.
And
It's
like they have a bunch of weird rules, like if it's the third strike or final out and like a fan catches it, the game's over, and it's very fan involved. And even if you don't like baseball, it's a good time.
Yeah,
Dougie.
everything's on like a timer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look who gets here just in time to talk to Sheila E.
Yep.
Oh, a big shot.
He's a musician.
Oh, you held your helicopter. A little traffic out there.
Yeah, there's an accident on 100 Cedar Lake.
I had an accident on 394, so things are going really well. I didn't have the accident. There was an accident on the way in.
Okay.
I got here at like 8:01 this morning. It took 45 minutes to get here. It's usually 12 minutes.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it was a thrill. So same thing. But we're just talking about the Globetrotters, and we're talking about the Minneapolis Lakers and how I didn't run into it. I happened to be in the same place as Wilt Chamberlain, and I will never forget how tall that man
Yeah,
was
no kidding.
as long as I live.
Did you ever play donkey basketball? Remember when that was a thing?
Oh, you mean you ride a donkey?
Yeah.
I remember
It
that.
was like the dumbest thing ever.
I feel like that came to my high school or
Yeah.
Same here. And then I remember PETA got involved. So they were like, I don't think we can do this anymore.
Oh, really?
Is that what killed that? I
Yeah.
thought it was having to clean up all the poop off the high school gym floor.
Well, I think the
Yeah,
janitors
maybe.
weren't a fan of that. So they were like, yeah, PETA, go.
But think
So-
about how stoned that person must have been that thought about that.
God, yeah.
We'll have donkeys in a gym.
In a gym.
It's brilliant.
It'll be perfect. No question about it. I remember when Rob Sherwood was at KDWB, they had, and I think once in a while they do the donkey basketball, but they had like a KDWB basketball team or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never forget this because for every town they went to, they had to make up little slogans. And they were going to play at the gym or auditorium, whatever, in Delano, Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
So the entire, you need to come to this game this weekend. The KDWB, whatever team they were, I can't remember the name of the team.
The Bouncing Whiteys.
The Bouncing Whiteys probably is going to play the blah, blah, blah. And the question is, what does Della know? Get it? What does Della know? Come on.
Yes.
No reaction?
I'm going to write that one down.
And PETA failed at shutting down donkey basketball because something called PRTC
Really?
as of 2023, holds an annual donkey basketball game at Jackson County High School.
So there's one left
There's
still
one
in the
left.
country.
Yep.
One, and where is it?
Jackson County High School. No clue where it is. It's just some
Mississippi.
It's some YouTube video that's 45 minutes long of a whole donkey basketball game.
All right. That's great.
Hey, whatever works, right? Whatever works. That's all you need to know. What the hell? I'm just looking at a few highlights. We got Sheila E's coming up in about 6.
I heard that. I was listening on the way in.
5 minutes. Yeah, about 6 minutes from now. Yeah, she's such a nice person. You weren't in studio with her, either one of you two guys.
I've never met her
No.
before.
No.
Just the nicest person on earth. She was over at the Q Studios. And by the way, all the big shots from Cumulus were in town yesterday. I never got the call to have lunch with them.
No, I didn't either.
I don't get it. I thought they'd call right out.
That's weird because Tevin and I got a call.
Yeah.
Did you?
I was
Wait,
busy. I couldn't make it.
You want to be in 16th, 17th place too, do you? Is that the plan?
No.
So are they really going to hire Dave Ryan? Is that the plan?
I don't have any idea. Who the hell knows what they're going to do? That is not a business I'd like to be managing right now. I will tell you that. There's no question about that. Okay, I'm going to ask you this question going into the break because we got to go to break in a second here. You know what? We should probably just go to break now. I want to get Sheila E on time. That would make sense, right?
Yeah.
We'll take a break. Be right back. Upcoming Lifetime original movie, Nobody Dumps My Daughter. It is out, as a matter of fact, in 3 days, October 12th, 7 Central Time. Sheila E will join us right after this. I'm talking with my friends Michael Bilski and Brad Huckle of North American Banking Company. Guys, business owners have had to deal with a lot over the last few years, haven't they?
They sure have, Tommy. We pride ourselves on being able to help our customers with the challenges they face. Our business bankers are experts and are always ready to help our customers capitalize on opportunities and solve problems.
Loan decisions come quickly because they're made here in the Twin Cities and not shipped out of state like at some of the national banks in town.
This allows our customers to expand their businesses with confidence, knowing that they have our team of experts in their corner.
Okay, so now you give me this big thing at the end. Way to go.
Well, you are the professional.
Oh, I forgot. Look, I know Brad and Mike, and I trust them with my banking. They've personally delivered on everything they've just said. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? You know, inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
Mike Lindell of MyPillow employees want to thank all our listeners for all your continued support. When Mike started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, they now have hundreds of products, some of you may not even know about. For example, the brand new 4-pack dish towel sets, just $25. 6-pack towel sets, just $25. Bed sheets for as low as $25. Check out their overstock and closeout sale and save up to 80% off select items. You're looking for a good night's sleep? Take advantage of the classic collection on a variety of MyPillows for as low as $9.88. These amazing offers won't last long, so order now. Just go to MyPillow.com or call 800-516-5146 and use promo code TOM.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Doug Sprinthal in studio. Just let me know when you're good to go.
Yep, just need another minute. I'll give you.
Nope, it's now or never. Forget it. It's just how it is.
Never liked her anyway.
So, Dougie, what's happening out in the streets?
Well, hopefully my good friend Alan will be here today.
Yeah, I heard Alan was coming in today.
Yeah, he's in town. He's also joined the Old White Unemployed Dudes Club. So
he's in that too.
Yeah, he's checking out some employment options. He drove down to Red Wing yesterday. We had a lovely lunch. One of my best friends, he was the marketing director at Walzer when we really started this whole shtick a billion years ago.
Where was that we met? Right after down there on 494.
Oh, at the Hilton.
It was the Hilton. Yep. It was
really nice restaurant in there. Yeah, it's really good.
It's still there.
Yep. They're doing really well.
There you have it. We liked it a lot. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while. You know, she doesn't come to see Uncle Tommy anymore. Sheila E used to stop in the studio over at the Q. We'd have fun. Sheila, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Magnificent. You know, you don't come and see Uncle Tommy. You don't stop in the studio. I'm deeply hurt, Sheila. Now, that time, honest to God, first time you came in the studio, we had such fun. You were such a pleasant person, so thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm sorry. We've been out on tour, and when I come to Minneapolis, I have to see family, and I got to go fishing. So that comes first, and then that's the end of that.
Okay, never mind. So fish are more important than your Uncle Tommy.
Yeah, kind of. I'm sorry.
All right, don't worry about my feelings.
You only get 3 months of great weather in Minneapolis. You got to take advantage of it.
Okay, we'll follow your lead. Lifetime original movie, Nobody Dumps My Daughter, October 12th, just 3 days away at 7 o'clock Central Time. In the Lifetime original movie, Nobody Dumps My Daughter, after Jimmy breaks up with Teresa, played by Jasmine Vega, her overbearing mother, played by Anna Ortiz Mary, of course, becomes obsessed with mending their relationship after learning that Jimmy took her daughter's virginity. Holy Hannah! The dad in me just came out, Sheila E. So what's this all about? So, how does everybody get involved? What's this all about? I don't want to know the whole thing because I want to watch the movie in 3 days. But in any case, so what's this all about?
So this is something that's real. This is a true story. I was asked to do this part. I'm playing like a healer tarot card reader, and the lady who is the mom, played by Anna Ortiz, Mary, comes to me for years and years and years and years, always asking, what do I see in the future, blah, blah, blah. And, her daughter, something happens. And then the mother, Mary, kind of gets crazy and asks me to do some crazy things. So I don't want to spoil it. You want to see it. But I play a tarot card reader.
Now, I got to tell you, the last paragraph in the descriptor, I will not read it because it tells you what happens, basically.
Exactly.
And it'd be better if it were a surprise to people watching the movie, I would think.
So have a talk with the PR people.
That's what I think. Yeah. You don't want to give it away, but you do want to see it. Yeah. Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, this is my first time ever doing this, and it was a few. I'd said no a few times because I'm out on tour, and this is not what I do for a living, but I'm interested in doing it, and I kind of don't really believe in tarot card reading, no disrespect, but that's just not, So anyway, I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't even know what the cards mean and blah, blah, and I don't need to know. But I spoke with the director, Stan Brooks, and we had a conversation, and very kind man. He convinced me to do it, and I was like, you know what, let's do it. And especially when I found out it was a true story, I said, you got to be kidding, this is crazy. So yeah, it was fun doing it. They wanted me to be there in Canada to shoot it for about a week. I only had 2 days, so I did my part in 2 days. I'm really happy that I did it because it was a great experience. It's something new for me, and everyone was really kind, and I wouldn't mind doing something again. But what a great time that I had, and what a crazy nobody dumps my daughter story, because it's based off a true story.
It's so interesting you went with that title, because I love that title because, growing up in North Minneapolis, you would hear things like nobody dumps my daughter. So I'm reliving my childhood. That's a good thing.
Wow.
Well, it can be just so amazing. I don't want to read too much of this because I don't want to give too much away. When her tactics fail, Mary becomes desperate and her meddling ways turn to something else. I won't say what it is. She enlists the services of a fortune teller. Here's where Sheila E comes in. I don't want to read any more because I don't want to give away too much about the movie. But now you're not responsible for any violence in this movie, are you, Sheila E?
I'm not going to say anything. I just think you should just watch the movie.
I'm going to watch the movie October 12th, 7 p.m. Central Time.
Yes.
Lifetime does a great job with their movies, too. Don't you think? Lifetime does a really good job with their movies.
They do. They do. And when I saw the trailer, I was really excited. I was like, wow, this looks like a movie. When you're doing a movie, because I'm not used to it, I've only done a couple, but the trailer got me, and I was like, I can't wait to see it.
Now, for people who might not know, where did you grow up, Sheila?
I grew up in Oakland, California.
Okay.
Oakland, California, Bay Area, where a lot of musicians and artists live. And, the culture of music is amazing. It's rich because you've got rock and roll, hip hop, Latin jazz, salsa. You've got everything there. And it's an amazing place to be born musically, I think. It really is.
But you do have family here in the Twin Cities as well, don't you?
I do.
I thought so, yeah. So did that just happen later, or that was just always part of the situation? Did you first come here because of Prince, or were you already coming here and got to know Prince, or how did that work?
He invited me to come to Minneapolis. I had been in Minneapolis before, of course, performing and playing with other artists. But when I ended up moving there, it's because of him, yes.
And how long did you live here?
I still have a place there.
Oh, big shot. Well, I'm glad to hear that you stopped it. But yeah, we got to have you in studio again one day because we were at Studio B over at KQRS back in the day, and Sheila E came in, spent the day with us, and just or the morning with us, I should say. That was so nice. You're a very, very pleasant person, and I'm glad to see. Do you want to do more movies now that you've done this? Did you have a good time doing it?
I did, and I do. Yes, I told the director. I said, as a matter of fact, if you're doing something else, I would love to be a part of the project. If there's anything else that you have, because the cast and the crew were pretty amazing, and that's part of the experience as well. Is being around people that are mind-like cool and having a great time and encouraging. There's no drama. I don't want to be around that. And they were all so cool, and I had a great time. So I want to do it again.
Sounds good to me. Lifetime original movie, Nobody Dumps My Daughter. It is in 3 days, 7:00 Central Time on Lifetime. Lifetime does a great job. Next time you come to town, you got to stop in, Sheila E. I haven't seen you in a while.
I will. Okay.
All right, my dear. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Sheila E. You guys ever met her?
I never have.
What a pleasant person.
Well, and the thing, she's a hell of a musician.
And she's stunningly really beautiful. Let's not forget
I think
that part.
Actually, I think for her, I call it Roy Clark disease. You remember Roy Clark? I love
Roy Clark.
He was such a goofball, but
he was.
People didn't notice. He's a badass guitar player.
Oh, God, yeah.
And Sheila E is a really attractive woman. She is a great musician.
Yeah,
I wanted to ask her if her dad was still on the planet. Her dad was the percussionist in the original Santana band.
Oh, yeah, right, exactly.
Pete, I think his name is.
Why didn't you jump in there?
Well, you were having a nice chat, and I didn't want to.
No, but you guys are always welcome to jump in. Call her back. Doug, you want to say?
You always yell at me when I talk when you're talking.
Oh, I do. Yes,
well,
I yell
you
at
yell
you
with your eyes.
And it does look like Pete is still alive. 89 years old.
Oh, wow.
89.
That's old. It's good.
It's not that old. What do you mean? 100 said lived to be 100. That's good.
I know. It's
isn't it?
As you get older, you go, God, he just passed at 87. He had his whole life ahead of him. 87.
So young.
That is kind of true, is it? Oh,
it is.
It was only 89. Well, let's see. My mother died at 88. Well, she was 87, almost turned 88. Yeah, people die in my family either late 80s or early 90s.
Or they get thrown off a building.
Or they get murdered. Yes, that's the other part. When they get murdered, they get killed at 39.
Aviation accident.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it wasn't an accident, but we'll call it that anyway. It all works out in the end. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't understand. Every time the Sunday Night Football theme is aired, Carrie Underwood makes $1 million.
That
sounds about right.
Yeah.
There's enough. Yeah.
What?
There's enough money going around in the NFL where we pay Carrie Underwood $1 million for the Sunday night games.
It was just reported that Carrie Underwood has paid $1 million every time the theme song from NBC Sunday Night Football plays. Is that
No, they're talking about like the I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. So they probably just paid her at the beginning of the year, however many, whatever, $17 million.
God, I think Hank only got like 3 cases of Jack for Are You Ready for Some Football?
Yeah, that's about
that was a much better song.
I know, it was good, actually.
Sounds like he should have been a better negotiator.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that salary was for the entirety of the 2023 season. We don't know if she made that much on any of her seasons before that. So with 18 weeks left in the NFL season, that means that Carrie will make about $36 million this year.
Oh my God.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Why are we working here?
Horrible.
Let's go. Let's go write a song.
Let's write a song.
Let's get it done. And that's if she hasn't negotiated a raise for this season. I don't think that's
how do
to
you
happen.
Negotiate more money for the same song? Like she has to re-sing it. They just play the same one from the previous year.
No, my favorite is she does have to like re-record the small parts where it's like the matchup where it's like, it's the Vikings and the Lions and then blah blah blah, and then the next week that just gets replaced with like it's the Chiefs and the Steelers, and like that's the only part that changes, and it's so obvious, but nobody cares.
Honest to God. It says $18 million for one day's work is pretty spectacular. Good on you, Carrie.
Absolutely. If
I
it's
suppose
if it's
Get that
between
money.
going to if it's between going to Carrie Underwood and just into whatever executive's pocket, might as well give it to Carrie.
How much money is there out there that we'll never see is what I'd like to know.
You know, you don't want to know that.
Yeah,
You'll
probably
just get
not.
pissed. I'm pissed that she makes $18 million for one tune.
Playing it one time. Although, is she the one that comes in and cuts it's Pittsburgh? And
Yeah.
she does.
Yeah.
Okay. So she does
I think they do that all ahead of time, and then she probably does a few extras in case like there's a game that gets flexed.
Yeah, probably. That's probably true. Why don't we take a break? Be right back. Kristyn Burtt, ladies and gentlemen, will join us right after this. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard Podcast. And I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app, at TomBarnardShow.com, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kristyn Burtt, Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. What's up? Where are you now?
I am in South Beach.
Or you're in South Beach. Okay, so
Yes.
you're safe.
Yes, I am safe. It looks like we're going to get a little bit of rain and maybe some high winds in like the 35 mile to 50 mile per hour range.
It's a little better, 170 miles an hour.
It is so much better. I went to the beach this morning. It was cloudy, but it was partly cloudy. Like the sun was trying to peek out. The surf looked okay. It's beautiful here. Everyone is taking care of each other. It's very sweet.
It is very nice. I'm glad to hear that. So it's going to move a little further north. And that this morning they reported it was going to move further south. Now they're reporting it's going to move further north. Do they have any idea what they're talking about?
This is what I have learned. To not, unless you're in harm's way, which I hope everyone has evacuated. Honestly, that is going to be, at least on that West Coast and Central Florida area, is that hurricanes are super unpredictable.
God,
is it's really bad for your mental health to watch hurricane coverage nonstop if you are in the state where the hurricane is happening. I had to turn it off. I was like, this is stressing me out. And, and the other thing I think I've learned, especially as someone who doesn't I mean, our natural disasters are obviously earthquakes, but they're rarer compared to our hurricane season, which happens every single year. And it's easy to judge from far away going, why didn't you evacuate? Evacuating is very expensive for everyone. And if you don't have the money, I think people don't realize how hard it is. Gas, lodging, food, making sure your pets are taken care of. And I know what it's costing me. Some of it's going to get reimbursed. Some of it won't because I'm here for work, but I'm okay. I can afford it, but I think it made me really empathetic to the people who are constantly in this situation and thinking, how far can we go? I don't know if I have enough money for gas. The hotel is $200. We can't afford that right now. It's got to be so incredibly stressful.
No question. I mean, and you're lucky if you can find gas to put in your car. Most of those stations are out of gas now too.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people, their instincts are to go north toward Georgia and things like that. A lot of people are telling them like head toward Alabama, you will have better luck, or go south toward Miami. So Miami is open and they are helping everyone out. There is gas available. There are restaurants open. There's lodging, and they are not, this is really important, they are not doing surge pricing here either. So that's
good.
Nice.
So did you wave when you went through West Palm Beach?
Well, I was in West Palm at the Brightline station yesterday.
See?
Now, is your condo like all shut up? Do you have like hurricane latches and hurricane screens and all that stuff on your condo?
It's the first time you've ever used the word shut up and not been directly toward me.
The shutters.
Shut up, Tom.
How do the peasants take care
No,
of it?
I said shutters, not shut
do
up.
They drain the moat first? Or?
Yes, that's exactly.
I didn't say shutter. I said shutters, not shut up. Do you have shutters?
I don't know. I have no idea what we have.
I hope so. You're going to get a lot of flooding.
I just show. We're not getting any flooding on the 16th floor. I can promise you that.
That is good news. But I hope you have hurricane. They're good to have.
I don't know. They got it all. Catherine takes care of all that stuff, and they're really good at that. And God bless them. There's no question about it.
I love how nonchalant he's like.
I don't know any of that stuff. Hey, look, I've had houses burned down while I was in them, so I've been through this once or twice before.
It's just like, I'm gonna show up in the winter, and maybe my condo will be there, maybe it won't.
Maybe it'll be flooded, maybe it won't. I mean, that would be the high winds would be, and West Palm is going to experience some of that, even though it's on the East Coast. So that's why I was asking.
I suppose, they take really good care of everything. They bring in all the stuff because we have a pretty big deck up there.
Yeah.
And they bring all that stuff indoors, and so they do a really nice job with that at the building.
I'm just wondering about the big steel. He's like, I don't know if I have them or not.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I have no idea. A lot of windows. I know that. That I do know.
But your windows that face the Atlantic, right?
Yes.
I don't think you'd
be the other way.
I don't think you'd have much wind damage that way.
Unless it was coming directly south. I don't think I'll have much.
Yeah.
It's
good.
not, obviously.
Good. Yeah, and my dad's on the West Coast. He's at Lakewood Ranch right now. He's evacuated, but I don't think he's evacuated far enough, to my personal opinion. But he is on Longboat Key, and that is going to get some major damage.
Well, how about the mayor up there? I can't remember what town it was. It was a woman, and she literally said, "Evacuate or die." It's like, holy God.
You know what? If that's what it takes, because some people are a lot of Floridians, you'll see them on social media, and they will say, "Hi, I have never evacuated. We're good. We don't flood." And they're trying to let people know that this isn't just a water event; it is also a wind event, and you can't just go outside and think, "Oh, I'll take cover somewhere else." The wind is going to be too much to overcome.
I have to ask you a question as far as the business is concerned. Now, we just watched the 3rd episode of Tulsa King yesterday, and I really like Sylvester Stallone. I don't know. He's just one of those kind of guys. Is he the best actor ever born? No.
No.
But he is really
up there with Philip Seymour Hoffman's illegitimate stepson. No.
Other than that, everything is really good. But I enjoy watching the show. I think he does a good job. You like that show?
No, it's not my jam, but
no, I suppose not.
Yeah.
Mafia. You don't like the Mafia?
No, I don't really like Sylvester Stallone. That's my first.
Did you ever have to deal with them? Because I've never had to deal. What Alex has run into him a couple of times. Apparently, he lives a couple of blocks away or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, he does live in Florida. He did sell he sold his Los Angeles home to Adele. So Adele now lives in it. And he kicked in the Rocky statue. So she's got a Rocky statue by her pool. Yes.
Oh, that's pretty
I
funny.
always love those like little stories. And I mean, can you imagine the two realtors negotiating? Adele would like the Rocky statue. Please leave it by the pool.
Yeah, and that's the one thing about Florida, because you don't have to live in one specific area. You're going to run into like superstar actors all the time.
All over the place.
All over the place. Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, and it's similar to living in Los Angeles. Like you don't really, because people are always like, what celebrities have you seen? I'm like, they live in my neighborhood. They live a street over, you know, and during the pandemic, you would see them just taking their family walks, you know, just because everyone needed to get outside. It was just no big deal. I mean, I used to see Fred Willard all the time when he was alive. He used to go for froyo all the time. I was like, he's a Menchie's guy. He loves his froyo with extra toppings.
Oh.
It was cute.
But it is cute. You're absolutely right. There's no question about it. That's a whole different deal to be around all those celebrities and that kind. But that's been pretty much your whole adult life, has it not?
Pretty much. I mean, I lived in New York City before that, and Los Angeles. So you get very accustomed to it, and you really leave them alone, especially if they're out dining, especially if they're with their family. You just know. Let them rest. Let them be normal for 5 minutes.
Don't most people do that anyway?
I think so. I mean, I think it gets harder if they're probably traveling outside of the bubble of Los Angeles or the bubble of New York City.
Yeah.
I think it is harder. Maybe if they're in a small town, people leave them alone because they know that they're just part of like the fabric of the neighborhood and everything else. But I think it's hard. I'm sure it's hard if they're at Disney World or something for the day. Everyone's probably filming them and their kids.
Is there one or two people? I mean, back in the day when I was a kid, and it was nowhere near as big as it is now, and that's probably, why it happened this way. But when I was a kid, there was, the Marlon Brandos of the world and the Marilyn Monroes of the world and that whole kind of deal. Are there two figures like that as far as a woman and a man in the business now that they're far and above everybody else?
I would say Meryl Streep, just in terms of her acting accolades.
Yep.
And she lives a relatively low-key life for someone who, as praised as she is. She lives in New York City now, but she spent most of her time raising her kids outside of New York and outside of Los Angeles. I want to say Virginia. I don't know if that's accurate, but I mean, she was just not anywhere near, making sure that she was on every paparazzi's list to photograph. And I would also say that I don't think his acting career would ever compare with Meryl Streep, but I would say someone like George Clooney, Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas together, Hugh Jackman. There's still on that A list. I think once we kind of lose the boomer generation of A-list actors and the Gen X, I'm not sure millennial wise and Gen Z if we're going to have those superstars anymore, though.
That's exactly what I asked you the question. Is it doesn't look like there's anybody coming up. It's just not the way millennials handle things.
And we definitely have superstars. I mean, Zendaya, I think is, someone, Tom Holland, Sydney Sweeney's very popular, Glenn Powell, but they're not going to reach that same level of what I would call Hollywood mystery or Hollywood magic of I'm an A-list actor. I don't think we're going to be talking about A-list, B-list anymore because people seem more accessible because they're on social media.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, the social media has a big part of it. And of course, the production of movies, like the movie If Imaginary Friend, there are a couple of superstars in that thing. And I thought it was a terrific movie. They did a really nice job with that movie. So I don't know, maybe it's better for the business if we don't have those superstars.
I think so. And I think what I kind of love about Gen Z is they're not really into celebrities. They are, they're just listen, they should be celebrities should be as accountable as regular people when it comes to what they say and what they do. And they're holding that. And it's not about cancel culture. It's about accountability culture. And I think accountability culture is good.
I think that, well, accountability is nice because there didn't used to be a lot of it. So it's a lot more now, no question about it. I would think. Anything new coming on? We were already talking about, was it in High Potential? That was good.
High Potential's doing great for ABC. So
It
it's
is
going
good.
to be one of the breakout shows for the fall season. Dr. Odyssey was the other one with Joshua Jackson I talked about last week.
Right.
And tonight is the premiere of Abbott Elementary. That's why I was like, you should catch up on that one because
We will, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good one. And looking forward to the new season.
Yeah, she's very good on it. What is she, like 4'1"?
She is so petite.
She's
Quinta
tiny.
Brunson. She is so tiny. She's beautiful and so smart. And I mean, good for her too, because honestly, creating a show and, you know, being the showrunner as well as the star is not easy. And to do quality year after year is a hard thing to do.
Kristyn, who are other people that have done that? All three of them. Can you think of anybody?
Let's see. No, because I'm like, Jerry Seinfeld was not. I'm just trying to think of like people who really stepped out and did like all three, because it's so hard to maintain.
She might be a total unicorn.
And to be a Black female too would be is like honestly something that's really even harder to achieve in the entertainment industry.
I think you almost have to go back to Lucille Ball, don't you?
I would think so.
Yeah.
And Lucy had Desi too, so it was a team effort.
Yep.
Lucy, can't do it, Joe. I got to do that every time. There's no question about it.
We need to get Bill on here sometime. He can do his Desi imitation.
Oh, he's got it. Really? He's got the good Desi. I love Desi.
He has to. He's played the role so many times.
True. Yeah, that's very, very true. No question.
Yeah. But he's home taking care of the cats. He's safe in Los Angeles while I'm like swirling in rain and wind.
So I got to ask you, I'm going to find out how well you guys know me right now. Going back to
North Minneapolis.
Abbott Elementary.
Sorry.
Shut up. Get out. Going back to Abbott Elementary. If there was one woman on that show that I would be attracted to, who would it be? Do you know me well enough to know who that would be?
The principal.
Janelle James. Yeah.
I think it's Barbara.
Which one's Barbara?
She's
Shirley Ralph.
First grade, the black first grade teacher.
Kindergarten teacher.
Kindergarten
teacher.
That's Sheryl E. Ralph, who's a total babe. There's a lot of really beautiful women on that show.
Yeah.
I find it interesting. The black man knew immediately it's the principal.
That's what I said too. I said Janelle James.
Oh, Janelle James. That's right. That's the same person. Right. No, you're both absolutely right about that. I love very tough, smart, pushy women. I've always is that because of my mother, do you think?
Probably. We could go back and psychoanalyze that if you want us to.
She really gets all the best lines, and they're all
she's phenomenal.
At 140 miles an hour. She's like, did she just say that?
Good.
Oh
you know, I love that whole cast. I honestly, it's a great ensemble cast, and it's honestly a cast that really likes each other too. They hang out off the set, and you can tell you cannot manufacture chemistry in real life. When you see them on the red carpet, when you see them in interviews, I can see right through and I'll be like, oh, that's a cast that hates each other. Oh, that's a cast that likes each other. You can see it right away.
Didn't everybody hate working with George Clooney? You brought him up earlier.
I don't know. I feel like now he just works with his besties. He's like, I'm just going to work with Brad Pitt. You know, it's one of those things, or we're going to do another Ocean's 11. They really I feel like George Clooney keeps a really tight inner circle, and he no longer lives in Los Angeles anymore.
No, he just lives in Europe somewhere, doesn't he?
He has several homes. He's got one in the UK, he's got one in France, and one in Italy.
Oh yeah, the one in Italy. I've seen that.
Very famous Studio City home that is right next to Fryman Canyon. So if you walk down the Canyon Road, you pass right by George Clooney's home. But Olivia Culpo, who's Olivia Culpo married to? She's married to one of the
Trish McCaffrey.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, they just bought it.
Bought his house or her house?
Bought George Clooney's house.
They did. Was wise.
Yeah. I was like, the football guy and Olivia bought George Clooney's house. Yeah. And he bought it for like $3 million way back in the day. And he sold it for about 14 or 15 million.
I noticed that yesterday. A friend of mine is in the real estate business. Finding a nice house around the Minneapolis, St. Paul area now is going to cost you about $3 million. What the hell is that?
Come to LA.
A nice house, a beautiful home.
I was going to say,
yeah, not nice, but beautiful.
We may have very different
definitions. No, it's not the
nice.
taste thing. I couldn't believe it. I mean, these houses when I was a kid were like maybe 400 or 500 grand. There was a couple of houses in places like Plymouth, Minnesota, $6 million. I'm like, holy Christ. People got a lot more money than people in this business. I'll tell you that.
Come to LA where you get a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home that needs $100,000 worth of renovation, and it's $1.5 million.
There you go. God. Man, it's expensive to live right now.
It's crazy.
No question. All right. Any closing words, sister?
No, I think you should be watching Abbott Elementary tonight. And yeah, and Ali Wong's stand-up special is on Netflix. It dropped yesterday, so don't miss it. It's all about her single life, but just remember in the background, she's now dating Bill Hader. So, but this is kind of about her single life.
Oh, she is?
She divorced her husband. Yeah, she and Bill Hader have been together almost 2 years now.
I had no idea. She came to town one time to appear at, I think, one of the comedy clubs or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she went out to dinner with the entire family, Catherine, Andy, Alex, and me. What a nice person. She's just a sweetheart.
She's amazing. And to me, I think she's one of my favorite female comedians working today.
Oh, yeah.
Stand-up never disappoints. So definitely worth watching.
No question about it. Good closing. Ali Wong's a good place to close because, she's terrific. All right, Pally, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
I will not be here tomorrow. So.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. Just bailing on us.
Just bailing. I know. I have to work tomorrow very early at 7 a.m. because that's why I'm here in Miami is to work. And
okay, could you do me a favor? Do you have a friend who does a great Roger Ebert impression? We could just have him on.
Right. And you go like thumbs up, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah,
Siskel and Ebert.
Well, Siskel's still alive, though, isn't he?
No, they're both. Gene Siskel died first.
Yeah, he died early.
Oh,
he died first.
I think he was in his 50s, wasn't he?
Ooh.
Yeah, he was young. He died of, I want to say, brain cancer, something terrible.
Jesus. Really? Did he talk to like AJ and Tevin too much and the brain just rotted on him?
They were probably both 2.
They were 2 years old. So it was even worse. That's what you're saying, the terrible 2s?
he babysat them and killed them? I don't know.
It's a possibility. All right, we shall talk to you tomorrow. Thank you.
Or not tomorrow. Bye.
Oh, that's right. Damn it.
I'll make him a note.
All right, just someone put a sticky on his computer.
Right.
Bye, guys.
All right, we'll see you Monday, you pill. Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing later. Well, she's not going to be on Friday either.
Yeah, she let us know that tomorrow and Friday she is off, and then next Tuesday and Wednesday she's also off.
What?
I know.
Oh, here we go.
She's busy.
We got to find an entertainment reporter. Who's in town that's an entertainment reporter?
I don't know. Doug's here.
Are you an entertainment reporter?
I
didn't think
know
so.
Who half these people are.
Nobody does.
I like weird stuff.
Give us an update from like as if it was 1985.
Yeah, that's right.
You know who's really good is Marlon Brando. Yeah, there you go. We shall take a break, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to do it for this show. Family show up in about 10 minutes.